Hi, today is the 31st of March 2022. We are students at IES Nicolás Copérnico in Écija, Seville. Our language assistant name is Vera Roula and we are going to interview her. She's a really nice person and her classes are very interesting. It's a real pleasure to have Vera with us. This is our interview. We hope you like it.
Vera, where do you come from and where else do you trace your origins?
I am from Newcastle upon Tyne, which is a northern city in England. However, I'm not English, nor was I born in Newcastle. I was born in Greece and I was raised there as well. And my parents are from Albania. So in my house, I grew up with a mixture of an Albanian and Greek culture. And when I was around 9 years old, me and my family, we moved away to Newcastle. And I've lived there ever since, before I moved to Spain, and I can understand how it's difficult to learn English because I didn't speak any English when I first moved there.
Vera, how many languages can you speak?
So, I speak 4 languages more or less. I was born in Greece and I went to school there, so obviously I learned Greek. And my parents taught me Albanian. And then when we moved to England, I went to school in England and slowly started to learn English as well. And when I started school, I noticed that Spanish happened to be my favorite subject. I loved the language. I found it really interesting. And sí, puedo hablar un poco en español, pero es importante que nosotros practiquemos el inglés. Okay? So, and yeah, and now at university, I also do a Portuguese module. So hopefully in the future, I will speak 5 languages altogether, but it's not going as well as Spanish, so I don't think so, but 4 to 5.
Vera, why do you enjoy learning languages?
Why do I like languages? I don't really know. There's no exact reason, but I think it's because I find it really fascinating how as humans we can communicate in so many different ways, and we try to say the same thing by using different words. And as someone who speaks a few languages, I love figuring out the connection between languages. So what's similar, what's different. And I definitely love how within our own language, we always have different dialects. Like Spain has a very different dialects in Andalusia, or if you go in the north. Even like Spanish in general, like in Latin America, it's very, very different. So I think that's the most fascinating part, really. Even in England, like where I'm from in Newcastle, it's very, very different if you go to London, for example. So I think that's why. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I do really enjoy languages, and I would love to learn more, but I don't think my brain can handle another one.
Vera, why did you decide to come to the Spanish school?
So I decided to come to Spanish school for 3 reasons, really. This is part of my Erasmus year, it's my placement year, and I decided to do this program because I get to teach English and see how that can be as a career prospect for me. And I get to practice my Spanish at the same time. And on top of that, I get to be employed, which is really, really nice. A lot of other people from my university decided to go to a Spanish university instead. Although that has other benefits, I think being employed was a better option for me. And working in a Spanish school is a perfect combination of teaching English and also learning Spanish.
What are you studying at university and why did you choose it?
I chose to do Spanish at university. My bachelor's degree is called Spanish Studies, which isn't exactly the same as Spanish Filología, like you would call it in Spain. It's a little bit different because although I do learn the Spanish language, I also learn everything surrounding Spain. I learn about culture, politics, history, gastronomy. I learn anything surrounded by Spain. I pretty much kind of learn about it, and the language as well, of course. So I studied that, and I decided to do that because ever since I was in high school, it was just my favorite subject. I loved it. I wanted to learn more. I wanted to master it as a language. And yeah, and I'm kind of doing that at the moment, and that's why.
Vera, you are so young, but you have traveled a lot. Which are the most interesting places you have visited so far?
traveling. I could talk about traveling forever. I absolutely love it. It's a passion of mine that I've grown whilst I've moved here to Spain, because every other weekend when I have my week off, I try to travel as much as I can. Although I've travelled mainly around Andalusia because that's the easiest, I really want to explore the north a little bit more. But I would say that my favourite place in Spain is Granada. I have yet to go to another place and like it more than Granada. It's beautiful. It's a big city. It's the people, the food. It's just amazing. I love it. It's my favourite part so far. Cádiz is beautiful as well. A little bit smaller, but still really, really pretty there. And as well, Seville, Cordoba, of course. Ronda is an absolutely amazingly beautiful place too. I mean, I would go back maybe to see it, but it's a type of thing where you can do on a day trip. But yeah, it's there. Madrid and Barcelona. I just came back from a long trip from Semana Santa. I went to Italy as well. I went to Milan and Pisa. And Pisa is my favorite. I prefer it to Milan because it's a little bit less touristy. It's not as fully urban like Milan, and it feels a little bit more local, you know. So I don't know. I don't have, apart from Granada being my favorite place in Spain, I've liked everywhere that I've traveled so far. I wouldn't say that I wouldn't go back to any other place I've already been to.
What other places do you still want to visit and why?
So, as I've already mentioned, I want to go a little bit more north in Spain. I've stayed in Andalusia most of my time, so I would love to explore the north a little bit more. I mean, I've been to Madrid and Barcelona, so I'm very thankful and grateful for that. I've loved it there. But I do think I want to go to Bilbao or to San Sebastian, for example. It's two places I really want to go in El País Vasco. And as well, Asturias maybe. What else? I don't have anything planned, but I definitely want to go in the north a little bit more. Maybe Portugal too. Portugal is right next to here, so I think it'd be a shame not to take advantage of that. But yeah, north of Spain and Portugal possibly. That will be my next trips.
Hi, Vera. Let's compare between England, Spain, and Greece. What do you like the most about living in each country?
This is an interesting question because from the first day I moved to Spain, one of the first things I said was that I feel like I'm in Greece. Spain and Greece are more similar than you might think, in the sense of like the people, the food, the culture. It's pretty similar. Like they're both more similar to each other than England. That's for sure. In England, everything is a lot more strict, with rules, more structure. It's not very freeing in the sense of what you can do, but even driving is just different. Like there's a lot more rules you have to follow, the lines, everything. So I would say that if you are someone who lives in Spain, it would be a lot more easier for you to move and live in Greece than it would be in England. Although England has its many other advantages, but England is also a place that if you haven't been brought up into that culture from a young age, or you weren't born there, it's kind of difficult. So if you're like 30 years old and you're looking to move somewhere and you move to England, you might not enjoy it as much as if you have a teenager that's lived there for a few years now and whatnot. But yeah, I think Spain and Greece are more similar. So I would definitely recommend going to Greece. It's amazing. So yeah, and you probably will feel right at home.
Hello Vera, what is your favorite food and do you like Spanish food?
Out of all the food that I've tried, I think Greek will always be my favorite. I'm a little bit biased with it, but yes. I do love Spanish food. It's kind of similar to Greek in a sense, but it doesn't beat Greek to me. Greek, there's not necessarily a specific dish that I love, although moussaka is amazing. But I think it's the bases, the olive oil, the feta cheese, oregano, like all of it. Like olives, we have the best olives in Greece. Just everything, like anything to do with Greek food, I'll eat it all. Spanish food it's really nice. It's really nice. I enjoyed it. I've had no complaints about the food here. Maybe my parents, because when my parents came over, they got food poisoning from paella in Malaga. So I think it was maybe the place they went to, but that was unfortunate really for them. I personally love paella. The paella I've had so far, it's all been really nice. I've had some in Cadiz. It's amazing. I'd still want to go to Valencia and try it there, but we'll see when that will happen. Yeah, I love food. I'm happy with all sorts of food. To be honest, I'm not a picky eater, so it's kind of difficult to go wrong with food for me. But yeah, Greek will always be my favorite. Albanian is really nice too. It's pretty similar. It's just a lot of meat. It's a lot of meat. So if you don't like meat, maybe don't go to these places. Or fish, because we have really good fish too, because we're by the coast. So yeah.
Vera, what advice do you have for the people who want to learn English?
Well, although the easy answer is travel to England and speak the language there and speak to native people, although that is the easy answer, it's not easy to do that. You can't just pack your things and go. For now, what I would recommend is do things that you enjoy in English. So if you like listening to music, listen to English songs, look at the lyrics, translate them, or look at Spanish songs and see if you can translate those and see how the meanings change. Or if you like to watch Netflix shows, for example, I do that in Spanish. I watch shows in Spanish and then put maybe the subtitles in English, or I put the audio in English and put the subtitles in Spanish. You can do the same as well. Look at English shows or look at Spanish shows. It doesn't matter. You can watch whatever you want. Just put it in English. Adapt English into it somehow. I think it's very important to always do things that you enjoy. If you're not going to enjoy it, it's going to be like a chore, like something negative that you're not going to want to do. Just implement it however you can. That's what's the most important thing. But yeah, and then when you get the chance, absolutely travel to England and explore it. There's actually some really nice places there, and just speak English to all the natives that you possibly can, as much as you possibly can.
Vera, what are your hobbies?
My hobbies include traveling, absolutely. Although I wouldn't say it's a hobby because it's something that I'm doing right now that I'm in Spain and I'm just taking advantage of. Once I go back to England, it's not going to be traveling all the time again. But that's something I really enjoy doing. A hobby I would say is dancing. From a young age, I've always danced. My auntie has a dance school in Greece, in Thessaloniki, and she teaches me, and whenever I go there I do classes with her. And when I was younger, I always used to go and take part in competitions and stuff. So that's what I would say it's my hobby. I did some dance lessons here in Spain. I learned the Primera Sevillana, but I don't think that's my style of dancing anyways. But it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. I might learn a bit more. But yes, dancing.
Vera, what are your plans for the future?
Future plans. So my short-term future plans will be, I'm going to have to go back to England in September. I need to finish my university degree, my bachelor's degree. So that will be my final year. And then after that, I think I might do some teacher training, maybe get into teaching at first, I don't know. But other than that, I don't have any other plans. I'm thinking maybe in the future I would like to do some translating or interpreting work, but other than that, I'm really not much of a planner, especially when it comes to career choices. I'm very indecisive. So I think I'm going to take it step by step. So I don't have any long-term plans, but I will be going back to Chester to finish my university degree and then maybe some teacher training. So I think that's going to be it.
Thank you very much for this interview, Vera. It is always a pleasure talking to you. See you at school. And for the rest of you, thanks for watching. Bye.